With this ring, I thee wed.
I promise to love and cherish you.
I promise to stand by you through thick and thin.
Sometimes goodbye is a path to healing. I need to find that path, Amara. Be well.
When love was simple. When Daniel first met Amara, love didn't feel complicated. It felt easy. She was 22, full of laughter that spilled out without warning, the kind that made strangers smile even when they didn't know the joke. Daniel was 25, quiet, observant, the type who spoke less but felt more. They met in the most ordinary way, at a bus stop on a rainy evening. Her umbrella broke. He offered his jacket. That was all it took. From that night, their lives quietly intertwined. They walked everywhere together. They talked about dreams as if they were already plans. Daniel wanted to build something meaningful, maybe not fast but solid. Amara wanted love that felt safe, warm, and forever. They promised each other time, not knowing time would later become their enemy.
Dreams interrupted. Life, however, doesn't ask permission before it changes everything. Daniel's mother fell seriously ill. Hospital bills piled up. Responsibilities grew heavier. The small job he had barely covered rent, let alone medical costs. Then came the offer. A construction company overseas. Hard work, long contracts, no guarantees. But the pay was good. Very good. I'll be gone for a while, Daniel told Amara one night, holding her hands tightly. But I'll come back. I promise. I'm doing this for us. Amara smiled, though her eyes trembled. How long is a while? She asked. Daniel hesitated. Maybe a few years. Neither of them said what they were thinking. A few years felt like a lifetime. Distance changes everything. At first, the distance didn't matter. They talked every day. Voice notes, late-night calls, laughter across continents. Daniel sent her money when he could. Amara sent him prayers and hope. But slowly, things changed. Work became brutal. Daniel's phone was off and off for days. Time zones swallowed conversations. Promises became postponed. Amara waited. She defended him when friends whispered doubts. She ignored relatives who asked uncomfortable questions. But loneliness has a way of speaking louder at night. Years passed. 1 year, 2 years, 5 years. Daniel still hadn't returned. The man who stayed. That was when Victor entered her life. Victor was different, steady, present, predictable. He showed up. He helped her mother when she was sick. He supported her business. He attended family events. He listened, always listening. He didn't replace Daniel in her heart, but he filled the silence Daniel left behind. Love isn't just words. Her mother once told her gently. It's presence. Victor proposed after 7 years of knowing her. Amara cried all night before giving him an answer, and in the morning she said yes. Not because she loved Victor more, but because she was tired of waiting for a man who might never return. The wedding without him. The wedding was beautiful. White lace, soft music, smiles everywhere. But Amara's heart felt heavy. She checked her phone one last time before walking down the aisle. No message. No call. Daniel didn't know. She married another man that day and buried a love she never fully let go of. 10 years later, Daniel returned home 10 years after he left. He came back with scars on his hands, on his heart, on his memories. He had lost his mother, lost time, lost youth, but he came back with hope. Amara, he walked through familiar streets, smiling at memories that didn't know they were outdated. Then he saw it, a family photo outside a shop. Amara, a man beside her, a child between them. The world didn't stop, but Daniel did. The truth, that broke him. He found out everything in one afternoon. She was married. She had a son. She lived a life he was no longer part of. Daniel didn't cry immediately. He just sat alone in his rented room, staring at the wall, replaying every promise he ever made. I'll come back, he whispered to himself. But he had come back too late. When paths cross again, they met again by accident, at a supermarket. Amara froze when she saw him. Daniel's name escaped her lips before she could stop it. Time collapsed between them. They talked. Awkward, careful, emotional. I waited, Amara said quietly, for a long time. I tried, Daniel replied, but life didn't go as planned. They both knew apologies were useless now. Love that refuses to die. They began meeting occasionally, not secretly, not romantically, just two souls revisiting a love that never truly ended. Daniel never crossed a line. Victor was a good man, and Amara respected that. But the heart remembers what it once called home. The question that had no answer. One evening, Amara asked a question she had carried for years. If you had come back earlier, would things be different? Daniel looked at her, pain in his eyes. Yes, he said honestly, but wishing doesn't change reality. They both cried that night, for the life they never lived. Letting go for real, Daniel eventually made a decision. He left the city again, not to run, but to heal. Before leaving, he wrote her a letter. Some loves are not meant to last forever, but they are meant to change us forever. You are my greatest love, and I will always carry you, quietly, respectfully, completely. Amara read the letter in tears, and for the first time in years, she felt peace. Love, rewritten. Years later, Amara sometimes tells her son a story about loving deeply, about timing, about choices. She loves her husband, but she remembers Daniel, not with regret but gratitude, because some loves don't end badly. They just end unfinished. Closing line for your video. Sometimes love doesn't fail. Time does,